There's additional updates about Charlie Kirk's assassination, which is insane. And I feel like it's probably one of the worst things that they could have actually revealed for all the gun guys. I assume that even people who didn't suspect some wrongdoing in this investigation, all the gun guys are now going to be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. This has the workings of a false flag. That's right. Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA bestie came out and said one of the most insane things I've ever heard. Okay. So they claim that the sniper rifle used was a hunting rifle that uses 30-06. I know that it's a big bullet because from what I understand, it's used for mid to big game, right? It's supposed to just drop it. Like you could take out a moose with that. You go, it's a big boy. You go for like elk, moose. It's not for like if you shot like a squirrel with that, you would explode it. Okay. So because of that, a lot of people were like, either this is not the weapon that was used or this is not the bullet that was used, because there would be an exit wound and that white tent would have turned into a red tent, right? Like there's no exit wound and therefore it's got to be a different gun, right? Or there's just something that's not quite right. And in an effort to, I guess, stop the confusion, considering that Candace Owens has been asking a lot of questions, they came out with a statement from his bestie, not his bestie, like Andrew Korvat or whatever. Does anyone have that actual Twitter link? Because he came out and made this release. And for the record, gun guys are not even in any way, shape, or form taking this, okay? They are not. They saw this. Andrew Colvin comes out, okay? Christian, proud husband and father, TPUSA spokesman, comes out and says, I want to address some of the discussion about the lack of an exit wound with Charlie. I'm usually not interested in delving into most of this kind of online chatter, and I apologize. This is somewhat graphic, but in this case, the fact that there wasn't an exit wound is probably another miracle, and I want people to know. I just spoke with a surgeon who worked on Charlie in the hospital. He said the bullet absolutely should have gone through, which is very normal for a high-powered, high-velocity round. I've seen wounds from this caliber many times, and they always just go through everything. This would have taken a moose or two down, an elk, etc. But it didn't go through. Charlie's body stopped it. I mentioned this to the doctor, that there were dozens of staff, students, and special guests standing directly behind Charlie on the other side of the tent. He replied, it was an absolute miracle that someone else didn't get killed. His bone was so healthy and the density was so impressive that he's like the man of steel. It should have just gone through and through. It likely would have killed those standing behind him too. In the end, the coroner did find the bullet just beneath the skin. Even in death, Charlie managed to save the lives of those around him. Remarkable, miraculous. Okay, in the most charitable interpretation here, let's just say there is a little bit of embellishment, okay? Because the least charitable interpretation is all of this is a lie and it wasn't a 30-06 and it was a totally separate guy, and now you're looking at like a second shooter theory or whatever, right? That's the least charitable interpretation. The most charitable interpretation of this assessment is that he's just like greatly exaggerating, and I don't know. I just don't. I don't know what could have actually happened, but I will say if it's a 30-06, it does. I guess the most charitable interpretation is that his body did stop the bullet somehow. Okay. And it didn't have an exit wound because it like snapped on his spine or something. But the fact that he also claims that it just barely scratched the surface, like it just only hit his neck, and they found it right underneath his skin, like just beneath his skin, that does not make sense. That just simply did not happen. And I'm not the only one who's not buying it. It seems Alex Jones is not buying it either. TPUSA is now reporting that Charlie Kirk was shot by a magic bullet. TPUSA spokesman Andrew Colvin is now officially claiming that a high-caliber rifle designed for moose hunting did not shoot all the way through Charlie Kirk's neck. Then it only gets worse. He then goes on to claim that no bullet was found inside of Charlie's neck. TPUSA in the statement below, goes on to say that Charlie, wait, I don't know why he says no bullet was found in his neck. He did say that. Does Alex Jones not know how to read? TPUSA in the statement below goes on to say that Charlie was Superman, and that's why the bullet didn't go through his neck and disappeared, claiming that the Easter Bunny is real, has more credibility. God help us. Oh my God, he was so angry to make a car video that he just forgot how to read.
Okay. I've been telling everybody, wait till we have evidence of an inside job or a cover-up. That's all I've been saying. We know Andy was out killing people, Tranifa, all that's a real deal. But now, I can't believe this. The spokesperson for TPUSA just posted 2 hours ago.
Bro, whether he's driving 40 miles down the freeway or in a parking lot, you know he's going to keep swapping hands. I know that this is not relevant to the conversation, but I do think that he has a style guide in the way that he does these car videos, and he loves swapping hands.
That they talked to the coroner, and that Charlie Kirk was shot with a 30-06 in the left side of his neck, the carotid artery, and that he's a man of steel, and that the bones in his neck that are like chicken bones stopped a bullet that travels 2,500 feet a second out of the barrel at 200 yards, depending on the grain of the cartridge and the rest of it. Probably hit him at 1,900 feet per second. I've shot hogs at 500 yards, 30-06, right to the side. Tiny hole, blows a 4-inch hole out the other side. We're talking through 2 feet of a hog. Boom. Hit him in the head, brain completely blows out. They just said he got shot with a 30-06, and that it didn't go through, and it gets better. I'll post this on top of his tweet. That they didn't find a bullet. He says he talked to the coroner. This is a spokesperson.
They did, though. Like, the tweet does say they found the bullet. They just found the bullet under the skin. Leave it up to Alex Jones to look at a situation where it's like perfectly ready for a conspiracy to f it up somehow still. My man is missed a step, dude. He is no longer the man he used to be. This is not the same Alex Jones that in the morning of 9/11 was like, Israel did this. I know Israel did this. I know it in my heart.
For TPUSA. So I don't jump on things till I have evidence.
Like, once again, also not true. Literally 9/11, the day it was happening, Alex Jones went on television and said, it was Israel. I know it was Israel. So the idea that he doesn't actually jump on loose threads is crazy. Bro, he did not say that. Come on. Wait, what? Dog, it's one of his most famous moments. What are you talking about? That's peak Alex Jones. What? Are you kidding me? That is one of Alex Jones's most famous moments, up there with like black attack helicopters and FEMA facilities. Obama smells like sulfur. You're talking to a A. Jones super fan though. Like, they're turning the freaking frogs gay. That's another classic.
And I talked to the White House 2 days ago, high-level sources. They said, no, the cover-up's on. All the accomplices, the tranny for people, 6, 7 that were online the day before said he'll be dead tomorrow. They're not investigating it. They've been told lone gunman shut it down. So I'm not eating crow here. I never said it could have not been a false flag or a setup. I just simply said, when I see evidence, I'll cover it. And I certainly couldn't, before his body was cold, say Israel did it with no evidence. Israel was definitely.
Bro, it is pretty wild that Mr. Every school shooting that takes place is a psyop so that the libtard Bilderberg group wokes can take away your guns, looked at a high-profile assassination of a friend and immediately didn't rush to those conclusions. Like, that's why I'm like so suspicious about these guys, like the Nick Fuentes of the world and the Alex Jones of the world, because like, when is it not Israel for these dudes? You know what I mean? Like, for many of these guys, it's always the Jews for everything. So the one time it happens, you're like, actually, this time it's not. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, I'm the guy who says, yeah, hold on, maybe it's not Israel. Not these guys. It just shocked me to my core, you know?
definitely pissed off at him and does stuff like that, so maybe Israel did it. But I will not sit there until I have evidence. But now we have, this is retarded, people. I mean, I shot a buffalo with a 308. That's weaker than a 30-06, but similar round. The bullet went through a bull buffalo. More reports coming on this, folks. We're being lied to. This is a cover-up.
Apparently, he also added a correction.
All right, about an hour ago, while I was literally driving, I saw reports that Andrew Colvett, the main official spokesperson
He got
for
update.
TV
He's got
USA,
an
who I
update.
met before, who's a great guy, the Liberty Movement for over a decade, had said that he talked to the coroner, and he's called me. I'm about to call him, so I'll give an update, and that Charlie was shot from the front in the left with 30-06, as we've been told, and that he was a man of steel, they said, and it bounced off the neck bones, and I misread the report saying that they didn't find the bullet. No, they said they found the bullet, which is even more insane. So I'm not demonizing TPUSA or Andrew or anybody. That's what they're being told by the coroner. But I'm not a sniper. I'm not a Delta Force guy. I'm not a Navy SEAL. But I've shot hundreds of wild hogs, hundreds of deer. Been hunting. First deer I shot was I was 6 years old. And I know, and I've shot a lot of stuff with 30-06, 300 Wet mags, you name it. These are high-power rifle rounds that come out at over 2,000 feet per second, 200 yards, probably going 1,800 feet per second. It doesn't bounce off things. It goes right through things. And if it hits just flesh or even gelatin in those tests they do in shooting or a wet phone book, it opens up in flesh like this. If it hits a bone, it explodes and pieces go everywhere. So the idea, it's even more insane, because I got part of it right, that they say it didn't go through the neck. That's official. I've now read the statement, not just a press report that got it wrong. So I had that part wrong. But I got it right that it went.
Dog, you didn't even get the press reports that were wrong. You got the immediate tweet that you were quote retweeting wrong. Because the immediate tweet that you were quote retweeting literally said that the bullet was recovered just off the neck. And it just only pierced the skin. The bullet was just beneath the skin.
In and didn't go out the back, they're claiming from the coroner, according to the TPUSA spokesperson that talked to the coroner, and that it was found under the skin, like it was a BB gun or something. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you can shoot an old refrigerator or an old truck or whatever with a 30-06, and it'll shoot through usually both sides of the doors right through the whole truck. I mean, wow. Anybody that's been a shooter knows that. So I'm not some ballistics expert. None of that stuff. But I've shot elk at 500 yards and the bullet goes all the way through. Very rarely does a high-powered rifle not go through. And a small hole on one side and a huge 4-inch hole in the other. So, and if it's a bone, it just explodes. And I've butchered deer, you name it, you see where it's a bone, it just goes everywhere, and there's pieces of bullet everywhere. And it still blows out the other side, pieces of it. So I'm not saying TPUSA is bad. They're not the coroner. I'm just saying what this coroner is saying, that a 30-06 bullet goes in. That's even more insane. Didn't find the bullet. I was wrong about that. No, right under the surface. It just, man of steel, titanium neck, all of this.
I guess technically they didn't say which skin they found the bullet in. You know what I mean? Like, they implied that it was like right at the skin of his neck, but maybe they found it in another part of his body just beneath the skin. Who knows? It bounced around.
I know Trantifa's out there. I know they're attacking. I know the left, the Podesta plan wants all this terror. But I saw no evidence of Israel involved still happening.
I know Trantifa's out there. It's still Trantifa, but it's also maybe Israel. I got a new theory. Israel is working alongside Trantifa.
Any of this. But I am seeing this now. This is crazy. So I'm going to call Andrew and talk to him, and I'll give you an update on that. And it's just what he's being told, so don't blame him. But this is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I'll give you updates as it unfolds. Even crazier than not finding the bullet.
Did he unironically say Trantifa? No, that is the meta now. I need you to understand. That is the thing that they believe is happening, okay? They think it's not enough that we got Antifa, but they're also transgender, okay? That is low-key what this admin is pushing for. That is the new meta from this admin. And that is, of course, the new meta, not only from this admin, but also all of the loyal servants, the propagandists, the mouthpieces for the administration, Alex Jones and everyone else alike.
Is that it was there intact, like on the stretcher when Kennedy got shot, the magic bullet. No. If it hit a bone, like they say, and bounced off, it would have shattered and not been some hole in the front. It'd have been a huge pop when it shattered, completely gone out. Tell me if I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I don't see how I'm wrong.
Anyway, so just the reason why I started off with this is because, and before people go, why are you, because I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat go, why are you bringing this up? Who cares about the bullet or whatever? Well, one, it's relevant to figuring out exactly what took place. Obviously, it's relevant to the investigation. It's relevant to the official narrative. But it's also something that right-wingers will absolutely care about. Do you see what I mean? It's absolutely something that right-wingers find to be very relevant and very important, specifically because they know about this stuff a lot better than people on the left do. Sure, people on the left like their guns too, liberals like their guns too, but like the right does have kind of a monopoly status on GunTuber, right? So you got a lot of people who are hearing this official narrative come out and going, it ain't for me. That's not. I can totally see a lot of GunTubers and a lot of right-wingers like gun guys looking at this stuff and being like, this actually made me even more suspicious than I was before.